Welcome back to this week's episode of Fireside Chat, where we take your questions and we give you simple answers. But let's start off with something a little different this particular week on this. Lauren, you probably have seen this on the press releases. It's been all over the internet. Epic and Ingenious Med have released AI charge capture platforms. Now, what are your thoughts? Well, let me share with you my thoughts on it. That's great. That's awesome. They're catching up. Now, at MediMobile, we've been doing this now a little over 2 years. We've been using our AI technology that we developed in-house to be able to read the documentation and be able to code it. So maybe they're a little slow there, but nonetheless, they're catching up to the AI generation. What's your thought about it?
Well, Rudy, just like you said, they're catching up. It was nice of them to join the race that we've been in for years. So it's good that we have some players in the game. But can they compete with us?
Well, that's still a question to be answered, right?
I just don't know. We've been at this for a while. We have engineers dedicated to our AI along with our teams. So I hope they have robust teams behind them as well.
So Lauren, we've been doing charge capture here at MediMobile for 20 plus years, right? That's 2 decades. We've got a lot of experience under our belts around that. From your perspective, why is charge capture a stubborn problem in healthcare? And why is AI such a natural fit to try to solve it?
So there are a couple of different reasons why it's a persistent problem with organizations. So on the one hand, you are relying on clinicians to enter their CPT and diagnosis codes in a timely manner. And we know the clinicians are busy seeing their patients, taking care of their patients. So adding CPT and diagnosis codes may not be the first priority. The other things to consider are the potential missing bills that are not even being taken into account. So if you have a busy provider running from room to room and they miss an encounter, that's money lost. Right. So it continues to be a persistent problem in healthcare, of course, leading to bigger issues, even the closing of hospitals, because they're not obtaining all of that missed revenue. And AI is the natural solution because we take all of the documentation the clinicians are already creating within the EMR, and we add the CPT and diagnosis codes that match up to that documentation without any clinician interaction if the organization desires that.
So from a provider's point of view, how does moving from the manual processes or their existing processes to AI actually change their day-to-day workflow, or does it change at all?
Rudy, it makes their workflow so much easier. So let's say that somebody goes from paper. You're no longer carrying around pieces of paper, marking down your CPT and diagnosis codes. Everything is automatic. The clinicians go into the EMR and document just like they always have, but they no longer have to worry about adding the CPT and diagnosis codes, researching which ones match their documentation. We do it for them.
So Epic and Ingenious Med, we just talked about them. They're making those announcements. They're rolling out their AI solutions for medical coding. MediMobile has been live in production with our AI for 2 years now, right? So what does the head start mean in real life for our clients versus those that are just hearing about it?
First of all, it's credibility. We have the credibility and the trust of our customers that currently use Genesis that can be used as referrals for our accuracy, for the amount of time it reduces for not only clinicians, but also billers and coders. But that head start also means that we've found some of the nuances to AI coding, specifically for critical care. So that time being documented is so important, and it's something that isn't always taken into account in documentation. So we can work with the organizations to ensure that not only is everything being coded appropriately, but the appropriate documentation exists to back up those codes to then reduce denials. So our head start not only means that our clients can trust us, that we are doing a good job, that our accuracy rate is as high as we tout it, but also that we have taken into account some of the concerns that customers may have regarding AI.
So along the lines of trust, then comes compliance, and then the outcomes of this, right? So in healthcare, Compliance is huge, right? So how does having an experienced system versus a brand new one help reduce that risk?
Well, again, Rudy, it goes back to credibility. We work with some of the largest organizations in healthcare. We have to meet their security demands, and every single time we do. But when you add in AI, what we have seen with some of our customers is they've tried AI and other platforms and it hasn't gone well at all. Well, we can take the data we have and the accuracy we have, and we can show them, as well as their compliance teams, we meet the compliance standards and we increase revenue while doing so.
Excellent. So AI sometimes to some providers can feel like it's another system, right? Now that they're going to have to learn or they're going to have to operate. But in real world, what does this really mean for them?
So we have two versions. We have a version where clinicians log into MediMobile and all they have to do is click a green approve button because those CPT and diagnosis codes have already been loaded. But if an organization decides that they don't even need their clinicians to log in, we can turn on what's called pass-through, and the clinicians don't even log into MediMobile. They no longer worry about even approving bills. All they do is document within the EMR. We take that data, we code everything, and we send those CPT and diagnosis codes straight to the billers and coders. So in some cases, they don't have to learn anything. They reduce steps in their workflow.
Wow, that's phenomenal. So now there are some groups that are just now hearing about AI charge capture because of the headlines. But why should they look at MediMobile today instead of waiting?
They're losing revenue. They're losing.
Definitely.
Come to us. We can get you set up in MediMobile within 30 days, and we can have that AI running not too long after that. We do need time to examine the documentation and work with the organization on any nuances, maybe some customization around it, but we can set it up faster than any other system. And if you're already a customer, then you're in even better shape. We can do it even faster.
Lauren, there's sometimes the only way you can really understand how the technology works is by seeing it. Do we have a way to be able to show them how to be able to do this? I know we have our technology, it's running, but can we show them in a real world scenario?
Absolutely, Rudy. If you go to MediMobile.com, you can sign up for a demo, and one of our sales team members, or even myself, can show you exactly how Genesis works.
Excellent. Okay. So there you have it. You want to see it in action? Visit MediMobile.com, book yourself some quick time out there with us. We'll show you exactly how it works so you can have the insight on AI charge capture. Well, thanks for joining us this week's episode of Fireside Chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Y'all be safe.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for spending time with us today. At MediMobile, it's seamless capture, effortless coding, and revenue you'll love every step of the way. Tune in next time for more ways to make your practice thrive. Until then, keep it seamless.